Even words are no match for the potential of ones and zeros.
Hello world.
There's little glory in staying put. Easy achievements are only stepping stones to greater goals. Our status quo is only an illusion. Innovation is our new normal. In every blind spot, there's a world of possibility. So why not join us in taking that step forward? Stride boldly into a future without limits. Explore opportunity with your ideas. Inspire others with your passion. Blaze new trails, and soon you'll find you're not alone. Let's make life smarter and more enriching than ever, where the benefits of technology are all pervasive, where the path ahead is the road less traveled, and where the excellence is its own reward. A boundless future where anything is possible is in our sights. HMS, innovative for all. A connected future, powered by apps.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. We welcome you all to our workshop session today. Thank you for joining us. As we know, Huawei Global App Innovation Contest, which is Apps Up 2022, already started. To help you participate in Apps Up 2022, we have designed 6 workshops in total about different topics, which will help you understand how to integrate HMS SDKs in your mobile app. And today, this is our second workshop to introduce Apps Up 2022 contest with all the important details. And within this workshop, we will go through the most frequent and easy to integrate SDKs, which are HMS Map Kit and Location Kit. So let's get started. At any point of time, if you have any questions, you can write in the comments below and we will answer at the end of this session. So here is the agenda for our today's workshop. The first part, we will cover Apps Up 2022 brief introduction, where I will walk you through um, with all the important dates, schedule, and also the criteria which you have to fulfill. Then we will see HMS Map Kit introduction, followed by HMS Location Kit introduction. And then later on, we will move to HMS Map and Location Kit coding in the form of a working use case mobile app, which will be motion tracking app. So by the end of today's workshop, you will have a working application developed by yourself. And that application will actually help you to track the motion of the user. Then we will have QA session dedicated where all the questions that you wrote, I will go one by one and answer them. At the end, I will display important links in the form of QR code, which you can actually scan and do the needful. So before moving to our first topic of today, let me introduce myself quickly. This is Yasir Tahir. I'm Senior Software Engineer at Huawei Cloud Services MEA region. I have extensive experience with native mobile app development, Android and iOS. I'm an MBA graduate from Cardiff Met. At the same time, I completed Computer and Information System Engineering from NED, Pakistan. So let's move to our first topic of today, which is Apps Hub 2022. As you know, Huawei Global Innovation Contest Apps Hub 2022 already started with the aim to innovate. And there are, in particular, 8 different categories. Um, for example, Best Social Impact App will have 3 winners, each worth 10,000 US dollars. Then we have one dedicated category for women as Women Tech Award, each worth this is worth $10,000 as well. Then we have 3 Student Innovation Award, each worth 5,000, and this year we have Best Arabic App Award as well, in total 3, each worth 10,000. So for the winners, they will get prize money, along with they will get uh, Huawei App Gallery promotional resources, Huawei App Gallery Connect resources, and incentive for paid HMS Core capabilities after integrating ML, which is machine learning kit, inside their mobile application. So it's a very fair chance for you to participate today and apply uh, in one of these categories based on your preference and get a chance to win these amazing prizes. If we look at this important dates and the contest schedule, Apps Hub 2022 already kicked off on 24th of June, and now the registration and submission is open until 9th of October. From 10th of October until 7th of November, experts will review all the submitted work, and from 8th of November until 20th of November, public review announcement of top 30 applications, followed by finals and award ceremony in December. So you have a lot of time from now onward. What you can do is you can join the App Sub contest today and try to submit your work before 9th of October, which is the deadline for the submission. So don't wait for this amazing opportunity. Register yourself today and be a part of this year App Sub contest. Moving forward, if we talk about the requirement for work, we have two very straightforward and very basic requirement. The first one is your app should be innovative and should be released on Huawei App Gallery, which is the third largest store in the world as of now. The second is your app must integrate one of the HMS open capabilities. It can be one or more than one, or services provided by Huawei. So we already discussed or see how to integrate Analytics Kit in our previous workshop. And today we will be going through Map and Location Kit integration. So in total, by the end of today, there will be 3 kits with detailed integration guide for you to learn and to integrate inside your mobile app. So don't wait for this. If you have a mobile app or if you have an idea, start developing today. Register yourself in Apps Hub 2022, integrate HMS Kit, and submit your work before 9th of October. So that was brief introduction about Apps Hub 2022 with all the important dates. Remember to mark your calendar. 9th October is the deadline. So you have to register and submit before this date. Now moving forward to our next topic of today, which is HMS Map Kit. HMS Map Kit is quite powerful. It gives you personalized map display and interactions, make location-based services work better for your app. HMS Map Kit is supported on multiple platforms like Android, Web, and Harmony OS. Uh, as we said, it gives you personalized map display, such as, let's say, markers, shapes, layers for you to customize map that better meet service scenarios. Not only this, HMS Map Kit offer map interactions, which means it enables the user to interact with the map in your app through different gestures, pan altered, or different buttons in different scenario, let's say. And then it does offer route planning as well, which supports different modes of traveling like driving, cycling, walking, etc. And it is present in different countries across 5 regions around the world. So when we say HMS Map Kit, it actually gives you a diversified map display, so building a real world within a digital map. It does support different types of map elements, and for example, standard maps, POIs, buildings, water system, and forest. You can see in this screenshot. So there's a park here, there's a water system, these are the main highways, and so on. At the same time, it does support different interaction modes as well, like POIs. You can see these are different POIs, um, different options like map zooming in, zooming out, rotation, moving, landscape mode, and marker placement. Not only this, you can draw or add different type of shapes as well. Like you can place a marker, you can draw a circle, you can draw different shapes, polygons, polyline. You can use animate camera, move camera, and so on. Not only this, the HMS map kit does support heat map layers as well, and other layers that you can customize and integrate into it. So custom map UI is supported with different shapes and different modes like standard, simple, and night mode. And as I mentioned earlier, HMS map kit is present in 200 plus countries across the globe with 70 plus languages. So if you use all of these based on your custom UI, you can bring a very personalized and custom user experience for your end users. You can place the marker in shape of car. Let's say if you are building a taxi ride application, so you can show the user nearby taxis in the form of a customized markers, and also the pickup and drop off location with a beautifully crafted UI which is supported by HMS MapKit. So if we talk about the route planning, the route planning does support different modes like walking, cycling, driving, etc. It does support metrics route planning as well. For example, if you want to calculate distance and time for multiple route, so you can do it at the same time. If you want to find this the fastest route, so it's also supporting. So it does support driving route planning as well. So let's say if you have some parameters like distance first or ferry avoidance or highways rules, everything is just supported. At the same time, more detailed description of whether there are a step on the road and etc. So if you look at the this example right here demo, it actually shows you different routes at the same time with estimated time of arrival, which is ETA, based on real-time traffic updates. So let me play this video. Yeah. So you can see the user is guided with three different routes. The first one would be in a straight line. The second one is the highlighted line, and the third one would be this all the way from this road across the street. So there are three different routes. Each one have a dedicated ETA as well based on different parameters, and those parameters can be the real-time traffic and rest of the user preferences like avoiding the ferry or avoiding the highways and so on. So HMS MapKit is quite comprehensive and it's very easy to integrate. We will see it today in our coding part. It's just 4 or 5 steps with which you can completely integrate the HMS MapKit inside your mobile app. So with HMS Kit, we have something called Battle Map Studio, where MapKit actually provide Battle Map Studio, which with which you can actually customize the mapping style inside your app. Like let's say for example, the theme of your application is completely dark, and you want to keep the map dark with some colored roads, let's say, or you want to keep the park color different than the usual one, which is green. So it's up to you. You can customize all everything, rather it be roads, parks, enterprises, and other POIs. The Battle Map Studio, you can actually add, modify, and delete, and then release custom map styles. Let's say if you create your own custom map style and you release it, it will be then assigned with a unique ID. Now you have to use this unique ID inside your client side to call the relevant APIs. Now let's say if you release the application using this unique ID, you don't have to update or change your application if you have a new style or if you have a change in the existing styles. All the styles will be automatically applied using the same unique ID. So that's the beauty about Pattern Map Studio. It's highly recommended for you if you're working with custom UIs. You can use this Pattern Map Studio tool to generate or to build up your own map style. If we talk about MapKit use cases, there are several use cases or several verticals where MapKit can be easily integrated. Let's say, for example, live services help user quickly find nearby stores, nearby libraries, nearby restaurants, or different attractions. So such type of application is heavily based on the map, where the HMS Map Kit can fit in very easily. From developer point of view, you can integrate it very quickly and bring the whole service inside your app for your end users. Not only this, we have let's say traveling vertical, where which can help user discover different travel related things like hotels, scenic spots, shops, local food to make the most of their travel plans or traveling. So this here again, this will be completely heavily based on the MapKit, so you can integrate HMS MapKit easily. And then we have enterprise services like different application which display geographical locations or maybe business distribution areas and so on. So MapKit have several use cases, and with HMS MapKit you can integrate it very easily. Yet it's very um, easy to integrate, yet very powerful, and it give you complete services or complete package as a developer to offer to your end users inside your mobile app. So that was all about MapKit introduction. Now we will move to our location kit introduction. Again, if you have any questions, you can write in the comments below and we will see it at the end of this session. So the next topic for today is the location kit. Again, HMS location kit is quite powerful. It gives you location from um, different inputs like GNSS, Wi-Fi base station to make it very fast yet very accurate. HMS Location Kit is also supported on multiple platforms like Android, Web, Harmony OS, and iOS. So MapKit is actually based on Fuse location or Fuse location, which actually intelligently combine different inputs like GNSS, Wi-Fi, and base station to give you precise user location. So if you are developing an app with user location, so you can integrate HMS location kit, which will give you very precise user location, and based on the user location you can do the rest of the business needs. At the same time, HMS location kit does support activity identification as well, like what the user is doing at the moment, whether the user is walking, running, cycling, driving, or he's just standing or sitting somewhere ideally. So in that case, let's say if you're building a fitness application, so you can use HMS location kit to track the user running path. So he started from this point, he ran all the way from point A to point B and how many distance he covered. So all the way while running from point A to point B, you can calculate. And whenever in the middle user pause or stop somewhere, you can stop the counter of the time, let's say, or the distance. So all of this is supported by HMS Location Kit. And not only this, HMS Location Kit does support geofencing as well, which means you can set up virtual geographic boundaries to detect different events, like whenever any user enter one particular geographic boundary, or he leave it, or he is roaming around inside. So that's some of the major features of HMS Location Kit. HMS Location Kit is a industry leading location services provider. As we saw earlier, FU's location is actually get the user location from different inputs like GNSS, Wi-Fi, base station, Bluetooth, and sensors, and actually give you low power consumption base high precision, and the response time is millisecond level response. So the precision is within 10 meters. The response is actually in zero point 0.2 seconds, which is quite fast, and it is covered globally. As you know, the base station and Wi-Fi network reaches 99%. So it's highly reliable, it's highly fast, and very precise at the same time. And it use low power consumption for the user. If we talk about geofence in detail, let's say we have a user in a geofence and we want to receive different events like entering the geofence, leaving the geofence, or staying in the same geofence. So you can manage these things through geofence management. Let's say if the user closes your app, the user is not actively using the application. So whenever any of these event occurred, this will wake the app if the application is not in foreground. If the application is already in foreground, you can perform the different functionalities straight away. If it is not, first the geofence will wake your application and then you can perform. So which means your application is not running all the time, and that's why we can say it is low power consumption, because your application, your battery is not consuming all the time, and the application is in sleep mode. Whenever any of these event occur, then the application wake up and then it do the rest of the functionalities or perform the different functions based on the business demand. So there can be different use cases of a geofence. Let's say you have a geofence or you have a travel management application. So whenever user reaches the airport, you can send him a notification with the boarding information of his flight along with the gate information and so on. So that could be an part of a easy travel scenario. At the same time, if user enter one of the shopping mall, you can show him send notification about all the offers that different stores are offering inside the same mall. And even though you can also do one thing within complete mall geofence, you can create sub geofences like shop A is offering another discount, shop B is having um, year-end sale and so on. So you can create different geofences inside your main geofence as well. So when user navigate or walk through inside the sub geofence, the store A which is offering year-end sale, he will get another notification where we can show him more personalized uh, notification or data like there is a year-end sale on men clothes based on his gender and so on. So the possibilities here are endless based on geofence as well. So again, there are multiple scenarios. Some of the typical scenarios can be mobile clock in, clock out. So you can monitor the student time, clock in, clock out automatically. Every student who enter the campus, or rather, I should say, every student who enter the virtual geo fence, we receive an enter event. We can mark it clock in, and whenever the student leave the campus, we can mark the clock out. Similarly, we can do the same thing for the employee attendance management system and so on. And other use cases can be pickup point, arrival notification, subway taking QR code pop up, drop off point, arrival notification, airport boarding pass pop up, coupon notification, and so on. So there are different use cases which you can actually use geofence in these different scenarios or use cases. Again, the advantages here are, the most important one is the low power consumption, because the app is closed completely. It's not consuming your battery all the time. So it only wake up when there is an event. If there is no event, the app will remain sleeping. So there is no battery consumption in the background. The range is from 200-meter to 1 kilometer. You can actually implement custom geofence detection. Each app, let's say if you are developing an Android app, it supports 100 geofence groups. Each geofence group support 1000 geofences. So you can create one group. Within one group, you can create 1000 geofences. So it's quite powerful, yet very simple to integrate and manage, and we will see it shortly. If you have any questions about map or location or anything related to apps up or about HMS in general, you can write in the comments below and we will take up at the end of this session. So moving forward to our use cases for HMS location kit, there can be a lot of use cases. Some of them very important or frequently used by the users are actually type of the navigation based application. So if you are working on, let's say, indoor or outdoor navigation, or you are building up your navigation application, you can use HMS location kit. Not only this, if you are working with food delivery application, like different applications we have within the region, so you can actually integrate HMS location kit. Here the location kit is very crucial. So whenever user is trying to make an order, let's say, so first his location will be detected, and then this location will be used to deliver him the ordered food. Similarly, we have travel and accommodation uh, related application or use cases, and then we could have convenient lifestyle related application. Let's say if a user reaches to another city, the location of the user will be identified, and upon identifying the city, you can show him different information like the weather information, and based on these information you can make decisions as well. For example, if the weather is going to be rainy, you can inform the user the weather is going to be rainy, please prepare yourself, arrange umbrella and so on. Not only this, if let's say user reach to another city and there is a upcoming very exciting football match, let's say, or any other important match, you can send notification to the user about this important event or match or anything. So that's part of convenient lifestyle utility applications. So mapkit is very powerful, and by combining both of these, map and location, the possibilities are endless here. And these days most of the application that we are using does actually consume both of these services, the map kit and the location kit. So that's all about the presentation part. Now we will move to our coding part in detail, and today we will actually go through the motion tracking application. So if you have any questions at any time, you are more than welcome to write in the comments below, and I will take up at the end of this session. So now let's move to our coding part. We will now proceed with the next part, which is the coding for our today's session. And for this, first we will open developer.huawei.com. I already walk you through the steps about different documentation in our first workshop. So we have to follow the same. We will click on visit the website and the mobile developers. It will take us to the landing page for the developers. From the top, we can select HMS Core and navigate to map and location, or we can go to community and click on code labs. So let's open code lab first, and here you will land to this page, which are different code labs are categorized on four major categories. From the top, you can search directly the type of the code lab. Let's say if you want a code lab about map, you can search map. It will show all the map related code labs available at the same time. If you want to search about location, you can write location search, and it will show you different code labs related to location. So for today, what we are going to do, we will try to cover one example or one use case, which is motion tracking use case or motion tracking application. So we have a very comprehensive code lab already available on our website, which is right here. and you can read the description motion tracking based on location kit and map kit. So both of the kit will be covered inside the same code lab that we will see. So once you click on this, it will open the step-by-step guide is starting from the first step, and you can see total there are 8 steps, or in total 9 steps, and in total it's around 84 minutes for you to integrate and complete the whole functionality inside your mobile app. So the first one is the introduction, where it is mostly talking about the service scenario and what you will create. So if I zoom in a little bit here, in this code lab, you will use location kit to obtain user current location and real-time location updates. At the same time, you will use map kit to display the user current location, draw a motion track based on real-time location updates. At the same time, you can also use mock location functionality in location kit to reproduce the motion track. And what you will learn how to create an app in App Gallery Connect. We already covered this in our previous workshop, but we will go through quickly with all the steps again, because these are some of the most important steps for any type of kit integration, not just limited to analytics or location or map. But if you are willing to consume any of the HMS core capability, you must complete this step. So we will go through this again in our today's workshop very quickly. At the same time, you have to enable location and map kit, because we will be working with both of these kits today. At the same time, you will learn how to integrate location kit and map kit. And what do you need from the hardware point of view? You just need a laptop and a phone with Huawei. If you don't have a phone, you can use our cloud debugging facility available in AGC, which is App Gallery Connect. At the same time, software, for the software requirement, you need Android Studio, you need JDK installed, you need SDK Platform 19 or later, which is Android SDK, and also you need HMS Core APK 5.1.0 or later in the phone that you will be using for testing. So that's all about the introduction. Let's move to the next part. So the next part is the integration preparation. To integrate HMS Core Kit, you need to complete the following steps. And all the steps are mentioned right here. So first you have to create an app in App Gallery Connect, then you have to create a project, and then you have to generate a signing certificate, then you have to generate then you have to configure the signing certificate, and then you have to add package name and save the configuration file, which is agconnect.services.json file, and so on. So here you can see, for details, please refer to this preparation for integrating Huawei HMS Core. So if I click on it, it will open another tab, and it will actually, there are totally 9 steps which will help me to complete all the preparation steps, and we can go through each of these steps very quickly. So the first one is creating a project and app. So let's do it quickly. Let me open my AG Connect, and once I click on this link, it is asking me to log in. So I already have a Huawei phone with me, so let me scan the QR code and sign in very quickly. As I mentioned in our previous workshop, first we have to create a project. A project is it's a set of a project can contain set of applications, and all of the API configuration that we do, it's actually applied to the project, which means all the apps inside the project will inherit these settings. And we can define project as a structure which hold different applications. So if you have, let's say, a staging version, a debug version, and a production version, and you are consuming same set of APIs in all of these versions, you can create one simple project, let's say project A, and you can contain different variants of the application. So the settings of the API, let's say if you enable location and map inside the project, this APIs will be enabled automatically for all the application inside this particular project. So we will start with the project first. Um, I already have a couple of projects in my AGC. So I will click on add project. It will ask me to put a project or enter a project name. So I will write workshop 2, let's say. So I will click on finish. So when it is finished, you can see it navigated me to the project settings, and there are certain things which are already mentioned here. We already gone through some of the information in the previous workshop. So if you want more information, you can refer to our first workshop. Now let's back to our code lab, and we already created a project. Now it is asking us to add an app. So what we will do is we will click on add an app, and you can see there are different platforms. For today we are working with Android, so we will select Android. For the device we have mobile phone, we have watch and vision is actually the Huawei TV. So for today we are working with mobile app. So for the app name I will give workshop 2 app. Package name, as I explained in my previous workshop, this should be unique across the store, yet it should be meaningful as well. So there is a naming convention which is company dot followed by the company name dot followed by the project name. So here we can write workshop dot followed by the app name. So here I can write motion tracking. It's up to you. Whatever you want to write, you can write freely. So I will just keep tracking, let's say. So let me copy this project name, and since we are working with app, so I will select app as an app category. For the default language I will select English UK, and I will click on OK. So let me navigate back to my configuration code lab. Next it is showing us, yes, we are able to see this information, and that's pretty much it about the first step. Now if I click on next, the next step, it is asking us to create an Android Studio project, and we can do it simply by opening our Android Studio. So let me open my Android Studio. Alright, so my Android Studio is here. We will click on new project, and similarly we will select no activity, and we are working with phone and tablet, so phone and tablet, no activity. Next, here you can write your project name, which is workshop 2, let's say, or I can write motion tracking app. And the package name, you have to make sure the package name that you already entered on the AGC, it should be same. So I already copied it earlier. I will paste it here. You can select the location where you want to save this project. You can keep the minimum SDK S21 because we are working with Java, so I'm going to select Java. If you're working with Kotlin, you can select with Kotlin as well. This code lab, the motion tracking code lab, and the code on the GitHub is already available in both languages, Java and Kotlin. So you are more than like welcome to explore the Kotlin version of the same code lab as well. So I will click on finish, and it will take some time to start up my Android project and download all the relevant files, and it will load everything here. So let's wait for a while. All right, so my project is now loaded, and I will go and change to project view. Then I can see all the relevant files and everything looks like ready. So let's get back to our code lab for the integration. So I already created the project. I already input the relevant information. Let me click on next. Now it is asking us to generate a signing certificate. Now signing certificate is something really important. You must generate a signing certificate and keep it safe because it's a certificate which will be used for to release the app on the store, and not only release for the first time, but in future if you want to update the same app as well, you need to sign your application with the same certificate that you initially used to upload the first version. So I think my screen is not clear, so let me try to check my connection. Hold on a second. I'm not sure why this is happening. Just give me a moment, please. Let me try to fix the internet connection. I think the internet is not really fine. Uh, okay, so just please bear with me. I think my internet is not really fine. So let me check. Okay, I think there is some issue with the internet. So hello. Yeah, I think now the connection is better. So let's resume from the coding part. If you have any questions, again, you can write in the comments below. So let's continue with our coding thing. To generate a signing certificate, it's pretty simple. Let's follow these steps. So let us get back to our Android Studio. Let's click on build, and here you will see generate sign bundle or APK. So let me click on it. Here it is showing us two options. We will select APK from here. We will click on next, and here it is asking us for key store path. Now we don't have a key store, and that's what we are actually generating, which is also which is also called as signing certificate. So for this I will click on create new, and here I would select any path where I want to save, right? So let's say let me select my any part that I would like to save. So let me keep it, and let me keep the file key store here, or it's motion key store, motion tracking app key store. Okay, so always try to keep the name meaningful. So let me click on OK, and for the password it should be very tough to guess yet very easy for you to remember. In our demo I will keep a very simple password. Let's say Android 123, Android 123, and for the key I can write again motion tracking key, and the password again I can keep the same password, Android 123. So Android 123. Now first name you can write your name, organization unit you can write your department, let's say name, and here you can write your organization name, you can write your city, you can write your state, you can write your country. Click on OK. So it already saved this at this particular place. Let us copy this, and I will click on remember password. I will click on next. I will select release, let's say, and we are actually generating the APK, and APK need the signing key as well. So that's how it is. And we got our first error here, and it is asking us to select Java 11 to run. We already did it in our first workshop as well, so it's very easy to do it. Click on file, select settings, and then go to Gradle, and from here you can select version 11. You can click apply and OK. Now again go to build and generate signed certificate. Here you already have the information of the previously generated key. So why we are doing it? We are just making sure our key is perfectly generated or not. So it will take some time to generate the APK file. So let's wait for a while here. And here you can see we already got our generated APK, and it's already available. So our key storage is working perfectly fine. If we say if we talk about best practice, it's always good to keep the key stored in the same project. So what I will do is I will copy the key store file from the location that I saved earlier and paste it inside our Android app level project. So this was the name of the file. We can keep it motion tracking app key store, or any name you want to keep. It's up to you. So let me paste it here. So this is our key store file. Now let's get back to our code lab and follow the rest of the steps. So we already generated the key store. We entered every relevant information. We already generated the APK, and I think we are done with our third step. So next is generating a certificate's fingerprint. So for this, actually we need keytool.exe, and it is actually a part of JDK. So if you already installed JDK, please make sure to set Java_home as your environmental variable. If not, you can navigate to this folder, which is wherever your Java JDK is there. So navigate to that particular folder, then to bin folder, and inside the bin folder you will be able to find keytools.exe. So how to generate the fingerprint? It's pretty simple. You have to first open your command prompt. So let me open my command prompt. So if you haven't done your Java home, so you can check if your Java home is already there. Let's say like this. Oops, I think it's set, not echo. So let me write set Java home Yeah, so it is showing me the path of the Java home that I already set. If again you haven't set the Java home, it's perfectly fine. You can use CD and the path of the this jdk.bin folder and click enter. So you will see you will navigate inside this folder, and once you are there you can actually copy this particular file, and you can command which is key tool dash list dash v dash key store, and here actually you need to put the key store file path. So how to get it? You can go to your Android Studio, right click on the file, and you can see open in Explorer, and it will just open right here. So what you can do is you can drag and drop it here, so all the paths of this will be right here. So once you enter the path, let's say, you can click on enter, and it will ask you to password. So the password that you keep for the key store file. So once you enter the password, it will list all the information. Now this is the set of information that we are looking for, which is SHA-256. You can copy this SHA-256 key from here, and then let's see our next file. So yeah, here the code lab is talking about Windows and Mac as well. So we will skip the Mac part. We already got our SHA-256 file fingerprint. So I will click on next. Now configure the signing certificate fingerprint in the app gallery connect. So what we have to do, we have to go to project settings, we have to go to general information, and then we have to add our SHA-256 fingerprint. So let's go to over here. We are inside project settings, and if we navigate down, we can see right here SHA-256 certificate fingerprint. Click on add button and paste it. Make sure the SHA is perfectly fine without any spaces. So our SHA, the one that we copied, it's ending at 7041 and is starting from 975E. So let us quickly compare it. So 975E and ending at 7041. So it's perfectly fine. We already added our SHA-256 fingerprint key. Now why this is important, you can see the information right here. This key is used to verify the authenticity of an app when it attempts to access HMS Core APK through the HMS Core SDK. So any of the HMS API that you are going to consume, whether it be location, whether it be map, the handshake between the app and the AGC is done through SHA 256 certificate fingerprint. So this is something really important, and you have to make sure the certificate that you are using, if let's say you have two keys stored, one for the debug version, one for the production version, you have to add both SHA-256 for the both keys. Otherwise, if you add it only for production, the handshake for the production version will work fine, rather the handshake for the debug version will not work. So please make sure to add both. Now proceeding to the next step, they are asking us to enable some APIs that we need. So we will go to manage APIs. Oops. Let me go back to project settings quickly, and let me click on manage APIs, and let me search location here. So we have map and we have location. At the same time, you can see map is right here from the build. So I will click on map from here, and it's perfectly fine. Let me click on location from here. So it is asking me to select my data storage. So let us done quickly. In the previous workshop, I explained that for Middle East MEA region, the Middle East Africa region, this nearest server is located in Singapore. So you can select any of the server from here, but it's better to select Singapore, and it will take less time to process your data if you select Singapore. I will keep it as default as well. I will click on OK, and I think it's perfectly fine. Let us go back to our project settings, and we can see our Singapore is already there. If you see, yeah, everything is fine. So let us get back to our next step of CodeLab, which is the configuration. So we can now download the JSON file, which is right here. So let me download it. So it's now downloaded, and let us paste it inside our app folder. At the same time, after pasting, we have to add some of the Maven repo address. So if you're using Gradle version earlier than 7, you can follow this particular guide. If you're using Gradle version 7, you can follow the 7 guide. Or if you're using 7.1 or later, you can follow the guide mentioned right here. So in our case, we are using 7. So I will quickly follow this one. So first we have to copy the JSON file and paste it inside the app level. Then we have to go and add these inside our project level build.gradle. So let me go quickly to project level build.gradle and let me paste it here. At the same time, we have another class path for HMS AGC. So here it is asking for an update. Here it is also asking for an update, right? And then in the settings, we have to add this piece of code as well. So let me open our settings.gradle and let me add this code here as well. So then I think pretty much it. Then we have to add the plugin in the app level build.gradle. So let me go inside app build.gradle and let me add our here, right here. So that's it. So let me quickly paste the file inside the AG connect-services.json file inside the app folder. So here's the file. Let me paste it here. You have to make sure the name should be without any spaces and as it is AG connect-services.json, and let me paste it in. Once you paste it, it will have all the information like cloud storage, analytics, and the most important API key and so on. So everything looks fine. Let me click on sync now and let's get back to our code labs. We actually completed this step as well. Let me click on next and then configure the signing information. So this is something really important, as I mentioned earlier. Let's say if you have multiple variants, one for debug, one for production, and you have different key store files, so you can set up these inside your build.gradle. For our case, we have only one, so I will just quickly copy this and paste it inside build.gradle. If you are wondering why we are doing it, so the answer to this is by default Android Studio for the debug version, it uses its own debug key. And when we say its own debug key, for sure the SH256 for a debug key that it uses is different than the one that we generated, right? So in that case, you have two options. Either you find this debug key and get the certificate fingerprint SH256 of this debug key and then add it inside the AGC console. This is option number one. Or option number two, you can generate your own debug key store and use the SH256 by yourself. Or in the debug version, if to simplify the process, you can use your release version key store as mentioned here, right here. So what we will do, we will mention the key store details. So for this, you have to go to here and then after this you can paste it here. Here our name of the file is motion tracking app key store. So just make sure the name should be fine as mentioned here, and we capped it as motion tracking. The password we capped it was Android 123, Android 123, right? So you can again cross validate. So for this you can go and click on this, and this is the file name, this is the key alias name. So try to make sure the key alias name should be fine. So this is the first step. The second step, in the build.types you can mention these. So I'm going to use the same key store for my debug version and for my release version as well. So for the release, let's add this as well. So here in the build type I'm mentioning please refer to this file which is mentioned right here. Here you can also actually, if you have let's say two different key, you can mention something like this. So let's say this is key number 1, this is key number 2, and in the debug you can mention debug, in the release you can mention release. Since we have just one file, so we are using only one, but you can keep something like this as well. So this is for release. Let's say we have one for release and we have another for debug. So you can mention relevant information inside the signing config and also inside the build types, right? So moving forward, we have already added this code, and next what we will do, we will going to synchronize the project. So let me sync it now, and let's wait for a while. So yeah, everything is fine. If you see, everything looks like fine. So we completed the preparation for HMS Core. Now let's back to our main core tab of today, which is motion tracking, and we have completed all the steps as a part of step 2. So click on next. It is asking to enable required services. We have already enabled through manage APIs, location and map. Both of them are actually enabled. Let me click on next, and then integrating HMS Core SDK. So for this you have to integrate the file. We have already integrated actually, and here you can see it is using Kotlin version as well, which means if you are using Kotlin you can only copy the Kotlin part. If you're using Java and no Kotlin, you don't need to add this code. So here it is asking us to actually implement the dependencies, and for this we can refer to the latest version. So let me click on this, change version for the location and change in version for version change for map, and from here I can copy both of these and paste it inside here. Now still the version is pending, so for the location let us check the latest version. Inside the map kit you can see the latest version is 650301. So let me remove this quickly and paste it here. And for the location you can see we have actually, we can first navigate to latest version, and then we can go to Android version change history, and this is our latest version. So let me copy this and paste it right here. So once I click on sync, it will download all the files like location and map SDK dependencies. So while it is downloading, let us see what is remaining as a next step. So it is asking us to add pro card rules as well, which is very important in case of signed APK or signed bundle file. So let us copy these and paste it inside procardrules.pro, which is mentioned right here. So let me go back to our Android Studio. This is the file procardrules.pro. Let me paste everything right here. So we have done this step as well. If you're using DexCart or NDressCart, you can copy these as well and paste it in the relevant file. And since we are not using, so we are just using ProGuard, we already covered this and we will not paste it anywhere. So looks like we have completed our fourth step as well. And let's wait for a while to complete the dependency implementation of Android Studio. And meantime, let's see our next step, which is creating a map. So let me click on next. So is our fifth step, and here some of the information about map is mentioned. Like map kit is very comprehensive. It covers and present in more than 200 countries and region and offers support in over 100 different languages. And some of the information about how you can draw the map kit. So map kit actually support two type of map containers, support map fragment and map view. And here you can see they are in this code lab. We will use map view to create a map sample. Now if you are actually working with mapkit, I would recommend or you to go through our documentation as well, because documentation is most recent documentation. Maybe the code lab information that you are following is not recently updated. So to have the recently updated information, it's always recommended to refer to our documentation. And here you can see we have all the steps same to same as well. If we go to the getting started, they will also mention the same information, the same things, and also refer to the code lab specific for the map kit. But here we are actually working with motion tracking application. So if I go to preparation, and you can see all the informations are already mentioned, which we covered. So the next is the map creation. So let me click on overview, and here they are referring to some of the samples. If you want, you can navigate to these samples and have a look at it. Then you can go to map instance creation, and here you can see it is actually showing all the code. So the first one is the map support fragment. So if you are willing to integrate map support fragment, you can follow all of these steps right here until you see the map, something like this. Or if you're working with map view, you can follow all the steps mentioned right here. So in our today's code lab, we will be implementing map view. So for this, we have actually this map view. We can follow both of these. So let's get started, and let us first see if our Android Studio is now synced. Yeah, so our Android Studio is fully synced, and we are now ready to start doing the integration for the map kit. All right, so let us create our first activity. If you remember, we create an empty project. So we don't have any activity. Select the main package, right click on it and go to new. And from here you can select on activity, and you can select empty activity, let's say. So you can keep any name here. Let's say main activity. For our today's demo, I will say map activity. And I also want Android Studio to create a layout file for it, which will be named as activity.map. And at the same time, I want to keep it as a launching activity. So the package name is fine. As I said, we will be working with Java, so I will keep Java as the source language, and I will click on finish. Now this will actually create two things. First, in the it will create a layout folder, and inside layout it will create activity_map.xml file. At the same time, here it will create the Java file. Now let's open our activity.map activity_map.xml file and copy this piece of code from here and paste it inside here. And it's up to us how we are going to use it. And for our main let's say layout, I'm going to use relative layout. You can use any layout you want. So we have linear layout, we have frame layout, we have constant layout, we have relative layout. So you can use any layout as parent layout based on your preference, based on how you're going to build up your UI for the app. So at the same time, if we see our documentation first step, it's pretty much same. The next step here is we have to extend our map activity with comp app compact activity, which I believe already did by the Android Studio. Yeah, exactly. But we have to implement on map ready callback. And here we have some class variables or class instance. So we have to copy and paste it in the relevant place. And this is exactly same mentioned by our documentation. So we have to implement on map ready. So let me copy this piece of code from here and paste it right here. So implement map activity, and it is asking me to import. So you can actually right click on it and try to optimize the import, or as a shortcut you can click on it, or if you hover on top of it, it will give you import class, or you can click on it, press alt and enter, so it will automatically import the relevant class. Now you can see this whole turned red and it is saying something else as well. So class must declare abstract or implement abstract method on map ready callback. So let me click on implement methods, and it is showing me which one is compulsory. This is the compulsory one, so I will select this one. So now this is already implemented and almost we are good to go. At the same time, we have some variables to copy and paste. So let me copy these variables and paste it inside the class path. Now, if you notice, it is asking for some more imports. So let me do it quickly. Right. So we have completed this. We will skip the Kotlin part. The first is create a map instance. So we have to do something like this. The third step, and here the third step is something similar. So we have to actually all of this inside the on create method of an activity. So let me copy all of that and paste it inside right here. Okay, and for better let's say for better visibility later on, it's always good idea to write comments. So we can write init map view, and this is not the right ID that we are using here. We are using HW underscore map view, so we must use the same one right here. Yeah, and we can use this as a static variable as well, because later on we are going to use it as well. So let's keep it as it is for now and follow our code lab. So then it is asking us to take the map instance and assign it to our local object, which is HW map. So but let's first take our code lab, and it is asking us the same thing. So let's do it right here, and we have the same thing. Now it is the fifth step is here in the code lab to add rest of the method corresponding for the map view, which is on start, on resume, on pass, on stop, on destroy, and on memory, on low memory. And here it is asking us the same thing, and you can see here is the static key. So first let us copy this and paste it right here, and instead of hard coding the value right here, we will use our static key, and then we will copy all of it from here until this point and paste it right here. So all of these are very important because map view have its own life cycle. So we have to make sure it is following the activity life cycle as well. So if an activity is going on stop, the map should also go on stop. And similarly, if an activity is going on pause, the map should also go on pause. And that's what exactly we are doing. We are overriding all the activity lifecycle method of the activity. And inside these methods, we are calling the relevant methods of the map view. Similarly, in the onCreate, the code that we pasted, you can see in the onCreate, we are calling the onCreate of the map as well. And then we are calling get map async, which will actually need the callback on map ready callback. So it will generate the instance and display the map as an async, and once the map is displayed, this callback method will be called. So that's how actually MapKit is working. Now let's get back to our documentation and code lab at the same time. You can see we have reached to the same step, and here in the code lab, if we go a little bit down, it is asking for something else as well, which is setting the API key. So in the map SDK, this version or later for Android, you must set the API key in either of the two ways mentioned below. So let us first check which map version we are using. So let us get back to build.gradle app level, and this is the version that we are using, 650301. It's certainly later than 5.00300, so we have to follow these steps as well. So how to set up the API key? First step is we can create a Java class, extend it from the application, and put the API and set the API key inside the onCreate method of this. So let us do this very quickly. Let me right click on it, new Java file. Let me write the name of it as motion tracking app and extend this from application class, which is this one. And here we can actually override this function. So let me copy it very quickly, and here I can actually set the API key. So for this, actually I have to copy the API key. And where should I copy the API key? So it's pretty simple. I already have my AG connected services.json file, and here is my API key. So let me copy this and paste it right here. So first remove everything and then paste it. Now we have completed this step, or we can also do something like this, set the API key in a fragment or map view. So any one of these we can do. At the same time, I think we missed one more thing above, which was actually initializing the map SDK. So let me copy this line and paste it inside the application class as well. So we have to initialize the map as mentioned in the documentation. If you don't do it, maybe the map will not load in your case. Now we are not done yet, because this class we just created, we are not using it. So how to use it? We will go to Android manifest file. Inside the application tag, we will search for name tab, and then we will set up this class. So now application will be actually referring to this particular class, and here we already set the API key and we already initialized the map for the whole app. Now technically, as mentioned in the documentation, we must when we run this application, we must be able to see something like this. So let us try, but before trying, let me do something more here as well, which is setting the my location. So in the documentation, there is a tab called my location, and let us see how to set this my location thing. So here actually you have to do certain things. You have to first place your some of the permissions. So let us copy from here, open our Android.manifest file. Inside the manifest tag, before the application tag, let us paste the required permission. And then here it is asking for some runtime permission. I will skip it for now. And here this is the actually the code to enable the map location icon, which should be right here. So once we have our map ready, we will enable the My Location button. At the same time, we will enable the feature, the icon on top of it, on top of the map. So let's skip the permission part, and this is how it will look like. So this button will be visible. Once we click on it, we will see our own location on the map. So let us now try to run the application and see the result, how it is looking like in the phone. So let me run this first. Let me clean the project and then let me run the project. Okay, so our application launched successfully, and this is how it is looking like. Automatically, you will see this is the current location of mine. At the same time, we have a button right here. We can zoom in, zoom out. At the same time, if I go somewhere else and click on this button, it will go to my current location. So everything is working fine. The map is loading, and congratulations, the map integration is completed, and it's very easy to complete. Yes, we just have some of the let's say 4 steps to complete, and once we complete all of these steps, our map integration is completed, and you can see the map is loading. Now you can see you can play around some of the different UI elements of map. Let's say if you tilt it, you will see the north west compass on top of right corner. At the same time, you can pan, tilt, or this is the panning, so it will actually bring the 3D view of your map. Okay, so map, as we saw in our presentation, it support a lot of different features and functionalities. So this is the 3D view, this is the normal view, this is the tilt, and these are the buttons for zoom in, zoom out. This is the current location, and so on. There are many other things that you can explore at your ease. So for this, you can actually navigate to the documentation right here. You can see the map type, map attribute setting, light mode, padding, map interaction, UI control, event listeners, map camera, drawing on the map. We will draw something today in our coding part as well, but you can explore all of these like heat map as well. So from the documentation itself. So we have completed our actually step 5, and with this we have completed our map integration. Now we will proceed with our next part, which is obtaining the real-time location, and then we will at the same time try to draw a motion tracking path on the map. So let's proceed to our next step now. And now we are in our 6th step, which is obtaining the real-time location. So the first thing is we have to actually assign the permissions. I will copy all of it from here, and I will go to our manifest file, and I will paste it right here. So this is the first step. The second thing is we have to actually since the runtime permission is required, so we have to check either these permissions are granted by the user at the runtime or not before using or consuming these permissions. So for this, we have this piece of code. I will copy it from here, and I will go to our main. Let me close everything first to avoid some confusions. So let me create a new function here. Let's say private void check permissions, and inside this I will paste it here. So once you paste it, you will see it will ask for a lot of import of classes. So let us import all of them quickly. I'm using Alt Enter. So here tag is remaining. So for the tag, what I will do is I will keep it as a generic on top here. So here I will write something like map activity.class.get simple name, right? And you can see all of the red are gone, and in here we are actually checking at runtime if the SDK version of the mobile phone which is running this application is less than P, which is 28, then this will be executed. If it is greater than, then this will be executed. Here we are checking if user already granted file location, course location permission or not, and background location permission or not. So if not, activity will request for it. So let's get back to our code lab and see what are the next step. So the step number 2 was actually to check the permissions. Step number 3 is to get the fuse location provider client. So what is the fuse location provider client? We already saw it in our presentation as well. Through fuse location, we can get user location, the current location, or the last known location. So this code lab is asking us to paste this piece of code inside the on create of an activity. So let me go back to the on create, and after the map itself, let me paste it here. And we know we haven't took the variable of it, so let me quickly mention the variable of this as well. So fuse location provider client, here it is. Oh, I forgot to call the permission, so let me write it, check permissions, and here let me call my function. And so we are done with these two things. First we will take the location, and then we will check if the permission is there or not. Now the fourth step is check the location setting on the device. So sometimes, you know, the location is disabled, the location is disabled by the user in the settings. For this is the piece of code, so let us copy all of it and paste it inside our Android Studio here. So here you can see we still have some import missings. So let us import all the relevant classes, and here we have to import, here we have to import, here we have to import, here also we have to import, here we have to import, and here we have to import. Now it's always a good idea to actually print the stack trace in case of there is any error from the catch. So if it is missing, you can write it like this, or you can write something like log.error, and then you can mention the tag, and then you can mention it's actually sie.getMessage. You can also mention something like this, or you can mention sie.printStackTrace. Both of these are fine. Now this method is missing, but before proceeding further, let us call this function. So this should be called after checking the permissions. So let us get back to our on create, and here we will write check location settings, and I will paste it right here. So we have everything going on as per our code lab. Now next step is continuously obtain the device location updates. So for this we have something called location request location updates, and here it will keep giving us the latest user location or device location in the on location result method using a location callback. So this is the function to do it, and there are certain settings like what is the interval, like after how much time we should get a new location update, and what should be the approximity of the location. So we are keeping it as high accuracy. So let us copy this piece of code for now and go to our Android Studio and paste it at the bottom. So it is again asking for certain missing import classes, you have to make sure you are selecting HMS.location. We are not working with Android.location, rather we are working com.huawei.hms.location. So let us select the relevant option. And from here, let us try to import all the classes first. And this is the main.looper. So some of the some of the variables are missing class variables. So let me do it quickly. This is the location request. So let me mention it here: private location request, and paste it here. So the other one missing right here is the callback, which is location callback. So private location callback, which is this one, right? So now we are left with this one. It looks like if means this must be a boolean. So let me define this very quickly as well as boolean. So private boolean, it should be smaller, and by default I'm assigning this a value as false. So it's always a good idea to keep it as false in the beginning, and then later on we can modify its value. So I'm not sure about this function, I'm not sure about this function, so let us comment this for a while and we will see it later in the code lab, how the code lab is using it, right? And we have actually there are no errors so far, everything is working fine. Looks like we are going on the right track. So let us proceed to our next part, which is remove location updates. So for this I will copy this part as well. Oops, so let me copy it like until this. I will put one. So here I will paste it, and then anything. So here it is asking for import and everything is working fine. And again here we can write e.stack trace, or we can also write log.e tag e.get message, and at the end we can write. So this, all the functions almost, this is used already. Where it is used, it's using here. This one is on the onCreate method, but we are not using this one, right? So where to stop this is something really important. So if you're requesting for location and updates, it will keep giving you updates until you stop or remove the updates by yourself. So what is the right time to do it? Ideally, you can do it on the onDestroy method of an activity, right? So on the onDestroy, you can write remove updates as a first thing, then you can say super.destroy, and then you can eventually remove the map view that we have as well, right? So everything looks perfectly fine so far. Let's proceed further to our code lab, and I think now we are good to go. And we have covered all the steps and it's looked like everything is working fine. So let's proceed to our next step, which is drawing a motion track on top of map. So drawing a motion track, and for this, the first step, if I zoom in, set the location source, add the location source in the on map ready callback. So let me copy all of this and paste it inside the on map ready. And where is it? On map ready, it's right here. So below this I will paste this piece of code, right? Then next step is obtain the current location and update the map camera. In the on map ready callback, add this code. So let me copy this as well and paste it inside right after this. And here actually what is happening, a map, we are setting the location source as the change listener. So we have the location change listener, we are setting it. So this is this piece of code, and here what we are doing is we are getting the last location, and then if we successfully got the last location, what we are doing is, so here we have to select this one, and here we have to select this, here we have to select this. Okay, so if we successfully get the location, we are checking if our listener is not null, we will notify the listener. At the same time, on the map, we will move the camera to this new location that we got, which is the last location of the user. So camera update is actually from the zoom as well. We are passing the latitude and longitude from the last known location with the zoom level of 15. And then once we have the camera update instance, we are setting the animate camera for the map, which is its default function. There are a couple of functions, move camera or animate camera. Animate will actually bring the animation. Move will abruptly move from one point to another. And we are passing the camera update object to it. And in case of a failure, we can write e.print stack, or we can write log.e tag e.get message, e.get message. And yeah, and same thing we can do it right here as well in the catch block, right? So we have completed this part as well. Now after the set source current location can be displayed, okay, we already completed this. Now in the UI it is asking us to add some buttons like stopping and running, because the motion tracking demo is about once we click on the start button, it will start tracking the motion until we click on the stop button. So these buttons, the start button, stop button, and the time, duration, speed, distance, everything from the UI it is asking us to add. Now what we can do is we can actually navigate to the GitHub repo of this project, which is right here. You can go from the congratulations 9th step as well. The link is mentioned there. It will open something like this. Then you can go to app, you can go to resources, and from here you can see we have something called layout map activity, and here this is the all the button and everything. So I already downloaded this code, and what I will do is I will copy paste it quickly inside the project. So let me copy all of it. Yeah, so from like this till here, I will copy it. I will go to my layout file. So for this I have to go here. I will paste it right here. Yeah, so you can see some of the resources are missing, like color resources, and here a drawable white ground is missing, so which means there must be a color resource as well. So let us go back to resource file, and we can go to values, we can go to colors, and yes, there are a lot of colors. So let me copy all of it and let me paste it inside our resources folder. It's up to you, you can define your own new resource file as well, and or you can use a predefined one as per the demo. And here we have a drawable missing as well. So for this I can again go to resources, I can go to drawable, and this is the drawable file that we have. So I will copy this white underscore round. You can again keep anything based on your preference, but as I am following the demo, the code lab, so I will try to copy paste and keep it similar, but it's up to you. If you don't want to follow, you can keep your own as well. So here you can see we have now fixed all the errors, right? And let us get back to our code lab. So we added this piece of code. Now we have to add this inside our Java file. So let me go back to our Java file quickly. This is our Java file. Now this should be first, this should be there. After map we can add our relevant things. So here you can see these are missing already. So let me try to keep private text view, because these are the text views. So m text view distance, m text view speed, and m text view start. So these are three text views that we have. Then this one, the time is not text view, it's actually chronometer. So let me define this as well, private, and this one is time. Okay, we'll import the class. So this is all done, and this function is still missing. So let's get back to our code lab, and here is the definition of this function. So we have to define a function called process start click, and which will be used when the user start running. So if the running is actually false, then it will run this piece of code, right? So let me first create a method of this right here at the end, private void private void process start click. As per the code lab, I should copy all of it, and if this is not running, which means something like this. So if m is running, if it is true or false, in the false part I have to paste it, because if it is not running, then I have to do it. And here you can see there are different parameters, like m path is not defined, m handler is not defined, m time runnable is not defined. So let's keep it as it is for now and keep following the code lab. So we completed this step, and then add the following code, which will be called when the user stopped running. So this part will be called in the true part of it. So let me copy it and paste it right here. So again, a lot of things are red. Let me try to import some as much as I can. So here again, this is missing, this is missing, this is missing, and these are the same things, and these are also missing. So let's keep it as it is, and I can see there is one resource which is right here, it is also missing. So we can check it in the GitHub if we have this resource. So go to, it's mentioned somewhere in map. So somewhere here, maybe, yeah, this is the resource which is missing, which is actually a pointer icon. So download it and put it inside the map, and this error should be gone. So let me do it, and at the same time let us go quickly about the rest of the process. So the next step is draw a motion track based on location updates. So here we have something called a method process location changes. So let me copy all the code from here and paste it right here, and nothing is luckily red in this. So okay, there is, I think, some discrepancies in between Java and Kotlin version. In the Java, I am not able to see these set of code, so maybe this is missing from the code lab. We will see it shortly, no worries. So, and then they are saying call this in the request location update if m is running. So let me copy this and paste it inside the request update. So where is it? Request. updates, it's right here, and here I have to paste this, and then they are saying it should work fine. But in the code you can see we have a lot of red things. Now how to fix these red things? There are two possible ways. First one, you can use your logic and you can check what is exactly required from the code point of view, what is missing. So if I see this end, actually M marker end is actually a marker type. So what I can do here is I can define the marker type right here. So private marker M start marker and marker end. So these two I defined it already. You can see some of the errors are gone. This is actually the resource file, so I already downloaded it here. Let me go to my resources, map, and this is the file, and let me paste it inside my folder. So these two are also gone. Now I'm left with mPath and handler. Now handler, we can also define. Handler is a default Android class, so I can write something private handler handler, and if we don't know what should be the value of this, so we can write something called new handler, and we can give it looper dot get me loop. Yeah, so handler now is also fixed. Now we are left with two things, which is time runnable and the path. So time runnable, as the name suggests, it's a runnable. So let us define a runnable as well. So runnable, and it should be time runnable is equals to new runnable, and I'm not sure about the value or what to write inside this, so but I have defined it already. Then we can see we are left with what now? We are left with only with mPath. So what is mPath? I'm not really sure about it, and let us look at the GitHub code to explore what exactly this mPath is. So for this, we can go to our GitHub, we can go to app, and then we can go to source, we can go to Java, then we can go to Kotlin because we are working with Kotlin. This is the map activity, and here we can see we have mPath defined as a path bean, which is, I believe, it's a custom class. Yeah, it's a custom class. And in the runnable we have some piece of code here, so we can actually copy this and we can paste it right there. So inside this it will be something like this. Here this is a format second function which is also missing, so let us see this from here, copy this and paste it right here as well at the end. And m second is missing. I believe m second will be a long, or it will be a long with 0 probably, because seconds are always starting with 0. So let me define this private. Oh, it should be long then equal to 0. If you're not sure, you can still check from here. What is m second? M second is this, right? And then if you see the code, now still m path is missing. So what we will do, we will go to Java, we'll go to bean, we'll go to path bean, we will copy this path bean, we will create a new class here called path bean, and then we will copy everything from path bean and paste it here. And luckily we don't have any errors, so that's really great. We'll copy this and we will define it right here. So M path is actually private path being M path is equals to new path. Right, looks like we have done almost all the errors are gone, but I would recommend to go through the code quickly from here as well. So I noticed something. We were using actually polyline right here. So polyline options are here, but we haven't defined it. We haven't used it. What are the polyline options? So it is one of the features or characteristics. You can draw a polyline on top of map. Now, what type of characteristic this polyline should have? You can use this class polyline option to define the characteristics like the thickness of the polyline, width, or the color, and so on. And I believe they must have defined something here. Yeah, it's here. So polyline options will be actually the one which will be used. We are initializing the polyline options, we are setting the colors, and then we are using the width, and then we are using the polyline right here, which means for every location change we are drawing a line between the previous point and the new point, and the line will be based on what the width that we defined, the color that we defined, and so on. At the same time, I remember there was a discrepancy between the process location, I think. So let us see the process location code as well before running our application. Yeah, so process location had a discrepancy. It's a bit lengthier than what we actually saw from the code lab. So let me paste it. Oh, here we have something called decimal format, which is missing. Probably decimal format is a variable, so let us define it very quickly. Private decimal format equals to new decimal format, and we can mention the type of format that we are expecting, which is something like this. Right, and I think that is pretty much it. So let's get back to our code lab. I think from till here we should be able to see the motion tracking, something like this, the one mentioned here. So user start moving from this point to this point, and the location is being tracked and mentioned or drawn in the form of a polyline on top of map. So let us see this in action, and let me run this code and see this in action. So first let me clean the project, and then I should run the project. So our app is now running successfully, and let me share the screen. So here it is. These are the different text views. So this will show us the total distance covered in terms of motion. This is the average pace, this is the total time, and you can see the time is actually calculated from this formula. So where is it? Sorry. So this one. We are calculating the time, we are calculating the speed, distance, and in terms of seconds, it's coming right from here. So now once I click on start, it will start tracking the motion, and until I click stop. So all the way, if I start moving on the road, it will start drawing the line based on the properties that we set. So red line will be drawn with width fifth. So in order to test this, what you have to do is you have to take this phone with you. If you're going for a walk, let's say, click on start and then start moving from one point to another, and you will see the time, the kilometer, the distance as well in terms of tracking. This is one way to test the application. The second is I have another application called fake location right here. So for this, what I'm doing is if I open this, it gives me one option called joystick. So if I go back to my previous app, this is the joystick. It will mock the motion of the user. So once I click start, and if I start moving, then it will start moving the user in the direction that I'm moving actually. So you can see if I zoom in, there's no line, right? So what I will do is now I will move a little bit. So I'm moving in this direction on the right. You can see the average pace value is changing. Now the kilometer value is also changed. 0.01 kilometer I already moved, and still I haven't took or covered the total time in terms of seconds. Let's say maybe millisecond values are there, but we are displaying only second. Now you can see the second is also there, and my current speed is 1.0 mile per second, m per second. So it's pretty slow. This fake location application does not actually allow me to change the speed, so we have to wait for a while. If you notice with the blue icon, there is now red line. So if I keep moving in the same direction, I will be able to see the line. So this is just for the mock purposes, just for the testing purposes. And actually what you can do is you can take your phone, take this application installed on your phone to a physical walk, and once you click on the start and you start moving, your motion will be tracked and it will be visible on top of map. So you can see there is now a red line. So if I start moving in another direction, let's say, let me move down now towards the south. So this line will start moving towards the south now. I have covered total distance of 900 meters, or not 900 meters, 0.09 kilometer, right? And now I have covered around 0.11 kilometer. Let me move this joystick controller a little bit. So yeah, now it's a bit visible. My average pace is around 23. Total distance that I have covered so far is around 0.12 kilometer, and in total time of 2 seconds. So that's all the calculation that we are able to see right here. Our demo is working perfectly fine. I'm still moving. Let's say I reach to a point and now I want to stop the tracking. So for this you can click on the stop button, something like this. Once you click on the stop button, you will see two markers. If I zoom in now to this point, let me close this joystick. So yeah, so I'm able to see two markers and a line in the direction through which I moved actually, because this application is a motion tracking. So it is showing me, if I click on the first marker, this is showing me this was my starting point, and if I click on the second marker, this is showing this was my end point. Now if I still start moving, it will again start calculating, and all the motion will be start tracking again. So this is how actually the application is working. And the use cases of this application are a lot. If you are working with, let's say, health application, you can implement this uh, to track the user labs, let's say the user distance, the user total time he spent to cover that particular distance, the average speed, pace, and so on. At the same time, this whole scenario is based on two capabilities of HMS. The first one is the map, which is actually very easy to integrate, just 4 steps. And the second one is the location, which is again very easy to implement, just 4 or 5 steps, and you are able to complete the whole use case. Also, let's say if you are working with a taxi application or you are working with some other application which need the tracking, user tracking, so you can actually consume this use case, implement both of the HMS core capability kits, location and map, and at the end you will be able to develop a very useful application as a comprehensive application for the end users. Now let's move to our code lab and see what's remaining. So on the next, it is showing using the mock location function. So you can also actually use mock data, which is mentioned mock GPS data somewhere in the GitHub repo of the code. So if I go to, let's say, Java, this is the data, I think. So these are the different coordinates. You can also, if you don't have a fake location app to mock the GPS, and you are not even willing to go out by yourself and test the application by yourself, you can use mock GPS data, and this is the code which will actually mock the user location, and you will be able to see it moving on the map. So it's the same thing. I actually used the fake location app. Rather, I would recommend you to go physically on the road, go for a walk, and test the application. Or if you're not willing to try both of these, you can use this mock GPS data.java. So let's proceed. I think we are done with this code lab, and it's nothing remaining. So congratulations. Now we have successfully completed actually the integration of location and map, and both of these SDKs kits are most frequently used kit from HMS Core, and there are a lot of use cases built on top of these two kits. So by now, we are hoping that you are fully able to integrate and understand map and location kit. Again, if you have any questions right now, you can write in the comments, or later on as well, you can share on our Facebook group that we shared earlier as well. We will also share the links today. Also, we have a dedicated email address as well, which is appsup.mea@huawei.com. You can write all of your issues at this email address, and we would love to support you with your integration. And for easy, quick, and convenient support regarding not just these two kits, regarding any of the HMS kit, you can join our Facebook developers group, and there you can write your queries and our experts will love to answer you. And this is the link for to download the source code, which is actually take you to the GitHub same page link. You can download the whole project and you can play around with it. At the same time, it is highly recommend to try our different code labs as well. What about some particular kit, let's say map kit, only one kit, or location, only one kit, or different scenario based kit. Like one of the scenario we already covered today, which was motion tracking, but we have rest of other scenarios as well. So there is another code lab which is particularly about taxi booking application. So if you're interested to develop a taxi booking application by yourself, you can follow that particular code lab and you will end up with a workable. Yeah, so you can actually follow the other code lab that we have, the taxi booking code lab, and eventually you will end up with a complete taxi booking application. So that was all about the map and location kit for today. I hope every one of you followed all the steps, and if you follow correctly, you will be able to integrate map and location kit very easily inside your mobile app. And with this, I think we are now at the next question, section of our today's workshop, which is the QA part. And I can see there are a couple of questions. So let me take it one by one. Again, if you don't have a question right now, it's perfectly fine. You can write to us later as well, and we will show you some of the important QR code in our next slide. So let's see at our first question for today, which is right here. So every participant must have an app to participate with for Apps Up. Yeah, I think yes. And for this, let me share my screen and let me show you quickly how you can do it. So let me share my screen. Let me stop it first and then let me share it again. So here we are. Yeah. So you can open developer.huawei.com right here, and if you go to events here, you will see apps of 2022. So you can click on it, and it will take you to apps of 2022 detail page. All right. So let me, yeah. So this is the detail page. Here we have all the relevant information. We have mention about the different regions, the categories. So from here, we recommend you to click on under the Middle East and Africa. You can click on learn more. So here it will open another tab, which is a dedicated apps app information only for Middle East and Africa region, MEA region. So if you scroll down, we also have a Arabic version. If you are Arabic speaker, you can click on Arabic and it will land you to the Arabic landing page. Here it is giving you some of the background like connect, learn, grow along with the agenda. So I already shared this information earlier today as well in the previous workshop as well. So just mark the date 9th of October is the deadline for registration and submission. So you have to register and submit your work before 9th of October. And if you scroll down, these are the different prizes, and we have three dedicated prize for best Arabic app this year, and one for Tech Woman Award, three for Student Innovation Award. So if you scroll down all the way, here is the eligibility. So each participant can join only one team. Each team must comprises between one or four members. So if you are every participant uh, can join one team, right? And a team can have one member minimum and at the most four members, right? So this is the team or the participant requirement. For the entry requirement, however, it's mentioned right here as well. So if I zoom in, submitted work must integrate at least one HMS open capability or service which runs seamlessly on devices with HMS installed. It means you must submit a workable mobile application, right? It can be a mobile application related to utilities, different services, taxi, or any sort of application that you have app idea on top of your mind. Or it can also be the game. If let's say you are working on a game or you already developed a game, so you can also submit the gaming application, but again, the requirement is this application must have at least one HMS open capability or service successfully integrated. So to answer your question straightforward or to summarize, every participant must have an app. Yes, every participant can join a team. A team can have, let's say, one or maximum four members. Each team can submit an application to participate, and this application must have HMS open capability or service integrated. So I hope I answered your question quite well. If not, again, you can write in the comments below, and or you can write to us at the mentioned email address, and for sure we will take up at the end, like, and for sure we will answer your query back via different channels. Like, let's say if you send us an email, we would love to help you out through email and answer your queries there as well. So coming back to our presentation, the next thing that we have, I think that's all. I'm not able to see any other question. There is another comment right here, very detailed training. So yeah, thank you so much for your comment. Yes, the workshop series that we are conducting for AppSub 2022 participation are quite comprehensive, are very detailed. Each of the workshop will focus only on the important SDKs. The first one was about analytics kit. The second one, which was today, was focused on map kit and location kit. Followed by next week, we will have ad kit, and probably we will also cover machine learning kit in our later workshops. So we just completed two workshop from a series of six in total. So we are remaining with four more. Stay tuned with us. After every 2 weeks, we have one workshop plan, and you will have all the details about it through our different Facebook HSD groups or through the landing page that I just showed you. So I think we can move to our next slide, which is the important link. So on your left hand side, this is the QR code which will help you to join the AppSub 2022 contest. You can scan this QR code and log in with your Huawei ID. We already showed you how you can do it in our first workshop. If you're not sure, you can watch our first workshop to see the process. If you have any questions, you can write to us and we would love to answer. On the right hand side, the QR code will take you to our developer community group, which is on Facebook. We recommend you to join this community group because we are posting different information, we are posting different links, and we are posting and conducting different workshops and courses within this developer community. So these are the important link as well. This is the email address that I talked about earlier as well, which is apps up MEA. Let me zoom in a bit. So appsup.mea@huawei.com, or you can visit our website developer.huawei.com. At the same time, you can join the Facebook group that I showed earlier. So that's all from my side for today. Thank you so much for for joining us today. I hope you will have a great day. If you have any questions, you can write to us. Thank you.